Oh, friends, I'm in trouble. Welcome to a new Burberry beauty video where I explore my recent new purchases from Burberry Beauty. And actually, I wanted to find out when Burberry first dropped onto the beauty scene, because I think they recently underwent like a kind of rebrand for their beauty category, because I have two compacts from when they were magnetic and had the plaid design. Now they switched to the beige trench coat color without the plaid, and like I had mentioned, those compacts were magnetic, and now you have the mechanical clasp with the Thomas Burberry logo here and the Burberry lettering on the front. But we'll get into those details because I do have the B-roll and also on camera demonstration, so hang tight. I'm sure you're asking, what happened, Alicia? Well, I was told during the Nordstrom trend show that Burberry was entering the beauty mix on the Nordstrom beauty floor, and I was excited to visit when they had set up their counter, and they did. I wanted to try their Beyond Matte foundation. I think it's called, yes, let me double check, just scrolling through here. The Beyond Wear Perfecting Matte foundation. I think they used to have a matte foundation and then a glow foundation. Right now you just have the matte, and Danny from the Nordstrom counter and also Maria, who works at Carolina Herrera, but she helped me with the new foundation sample that I will show. I have two 80 in medium cool, and gosh darn it, I wish I wrote this one down. I think it might be 80 medium warm. When I get back to Nordstrom, because I'm going to visit again, of course, I'll confirm down in the comments and also the description box. But these are the two samples. And you saw based off the undertone where you're like, is that cool shade going to work on you, Alicia? It can work on me, but not ideal. And I'll explain why when we get there. I also picked up the Burberry concealer, which Maria said she likes more than the Gucci. I have the Gucci concealer too, and I'm utterly in love with that one. For the concealer, I believe I have, let's see here, 85 medium cool for my concealer shade. I hope so. Does it have it on here? Well, of course it does. Yes, 85 medium cool. And it looks similar to the Gucci. When you see the swatches here, it's kind of hard to detect any difference in texture and undertone. But I think the Burberry is a little creamier and the Gucci might be a little more matte in the set. I still have to use them back to back to really nail down the differences, but those were my initial observations. And of course, I had to get one of their lipsticks, which Danny showed me during the trend show, Rose Petal. Oh, Rose Petal from the Brit Shine lipstick. I was told to be one of their best sellers, and I understand why. 606 Rose Petal initially kind of looks pink, right? When you see it here on the swatch, but when it applies on my lips, it just kind of settles into this soft rose shade that's perfect for every day where I don't need additional makeup. I could just throw on brows, not even blush, although I had bronzer here during the footage. I just adore this shade. And the Brit Shine formula is 1 out of 3 from the Burberry lipstick lineup. They have their Kisses satin formula and their Kisses matte formula. And the Brit Shine, based off the name, it says a Nordstrom exclusive lipstick that goes beyond offering hours of shine with a glossy lip balm. It offers intense pigmentation with a multifaceted shine that reflects light from all angles, offering a smoothing and resurfacing full lip effect with up to 6 hours of wear. Now, the shine will wear off significantly if you do talk a lot in it. Like, as I wore it during my Petalmorphosis video, the color was still there, but the shine wasn't there like it was when I first applied it. So that's just something to keep in mind. It does have fragrance, and for the life of me, I cannot pin down the exact scent the Burberry Brit Shine lipstick reminds me of. It's perfumey, not like the Prada, not like the Hermes. If you don't like the Gucci perfume taste on their Glow and Care, you're not gonna like the Brit Shine. It's a little strong for me, but I forgive it because I adore this freaking color. With that said, I think it's time to apply. And you saw the component during the close-up footage. The clear case with the Burberry logo on the front kind of has like that belt sensibility about it. And does it go on smooth. Definitely like a balm, but with more shine. But you see what I'm saying? Look how, I don't even have foundation on, okay? My blemishes are there, whatever. But when I put this on, it kind of just makes everything happy. And now with the eyeshadow compact. 1 out of the 4. I had my eye on bluish beige, I think it was, which had like this beautiful soft plum metallic. But Maria was saying that her favorite quad is the 04 Midnight, the one that I have, because she explained how the black matte in this quad is like max carbon matte. And I was like, oh, that's significant. And for me to spend $65 on one eyeshadow quad, I wanted to pick the one with the most impact. And because I had my eye on Noir from the YSL quad lineup, and I don't have that one, maybe I thought, let's try the Burberry quad with similar color story, the black, the taupe, the silver, and the beige, and see what would happen. Take a look at the foundation swatches. We'll apply that, get in with the eyeshadow, and that means it's time for you to come in a little closer. That's enough. You know what this is coming to? I'm still trying to detect this taste for the Brit Shine Lip. It's kind of like back in like late 90s, early 2000s, where malls were still a thing, and retailers like Limited 2, Delia's, like their teen perfumes. It has a very nostalgic taste to it. This is what comes to mind, like late 90s, 2000s mall. Teen girl type of a scene. Claire's accessories. I know it's a luxury brand, but that's what's happening. That's what's emerging from my mind. Take with that what you will. I prepped my skin with CeraVe moisturizer, the thick one, and wanted to first apply 80M Cool, or medium cool, MC. I applied this foundation yesterday, and I was surprised to see, even though it looks cool and light, and I'll run the footage here where I applied it on one side and the other I think had medium warm, looked significantly cool and dull compared to medium warm. But when I apply this by itself, it kind of works with my neutral undertone. It balances out where it doesn't dry down. Well, it does dry down more neutral. And in terms of the coverage, we're looking medium to high. Yeah, you can see immediately how it's gonna draw the neutral more forward. This might have been appropriate over winter, but entering now spring, summer, don't think this is gonna be the best match, especially if the rest of my body is gonna get a little tan. Like I had said, medium coverage, matte, but ooh, still skin-like and finish. I had this foundation on for like 8 hours yesterday, okay? It was one of those days. And my apologies for not capturing a photo, because by the time the 8th hour hit, it was dark. I had no light available for a good close-up. But I can tell you right now, great longevity for this foundation. It is fragranced, unfortunately. Doesn't feel, or it's not, I would say it's on par to the Givenchy. Not too crazy. I don't think it's as fragrance as Chanel. Blech. But tolerable if you are able to withstand some luxury foundations here and there. But man, the matte finish, I think, and I realized this yesterday, just helps maintain the integrity of other products you apply on top, your blushes, your bronzers, your highlighters, because the matte is not going to break down like the glow foundation from Givenchy. I did buy an entire bottle of this because I absolutely adore not only the formula, but the shade match in 4.5N. This foundation has more of like, I want to say glowy. Yes, this is the Burberry, just for reference and comparison. The Givenchy Prism Libre is more like skin-like, natural in finish. and because of that, it's not going to have the same level of coverage. I also have my Prada Reveal skin on standby. This is in MN60. Not as matte as the Burberry, in my opinion. I believe that both are considered matte, but the Prada is like a softer matte and doesn't have the same level of coverage as the Burberry. As of now, out of all the luxury foundations that I have been trying, the Burberry by far has the most. Look how it oxidized. You remember how it appeared when I first swatched it on my skin? And this is how it will turn out. That's why yesterday when I applied it, I was like, oh, that's not too bad. But again, you know, if my body gets more tan, I don't know how this is gonna fare out. So that's why I wanted to try 80 medium warm, and the consistency is quite creamy. It's not as liquidy as the Givenchy or the Prada Reveal. Look how... So technically this is more of a fitting shade, but because of the cool undertone, it can be a little too neutral. But let me just show you, okay? This is insane. The same thing will happen. You'll see, initially, it looks insane. You're like, how is that going to turn out, Alicia? I don't know. When I blend it out, it will settle with my more neutral undertones that exist on my face and will balance out on its own. I promise you. It will leave me looking brighter. And again, why I think this might be a more fitting match. Now, yes, if I combine the two, it'll be great. But at $60 a pop, this is what I said about the Gucci. Okay, the Gucci, they weren't ideal. Although 305 and by itself was a definite no. At least I could get away with 80 MC at some point during the season. And with now 80 MW. Initially, it was like, okay, that's not going to work, Alicia. But it kind of works. It kind of works. Maybe it's because of the lighting, but I think the 80 MW, again, I hope it's 80 MW. I don't think it's 85. All that to say, either will work, but this one works better for sure. And I have plenty of sample left. I don't have much left of the 80 MC, but have plenty of the MW. And now going in with this concealer. Oh my heavens. This, I can't stand it. How beautifully formulated the Burberry Beyond Wear Perfecting Concealer is. Again, in the shade 85 MC. Works with either foundation shade, by the way. I do like to apply with my fingers because the warmth from my fingertips works the product better under the eyes since the skin tends to be drier here. I also like to take it up and around the brow. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Listen, this color is just outrageous. It's spot on. It's perfect. It offers ample coverage without appearing heavy. It definitely tackles my discoloration and some darkness that exists without looking overwhelmingly odd, like out of place. Too much brightness, like 2015 YouTube makeup brightness. And you can build up if you want it, right? I'll apply a little more here just on the inner portion of the under eye, and this time I'll tap with a brush so that more product or more coverage will be left behind. Let's take a look at this shade now. Whoa, unbelievable. This is 80 MC, by the way, and you know what? I'll quickly swatch 80 MC. You see what I'm saying? This is what it looks like when you first swatch it, okay? And this is what it dries down to and why it looks like this. But looking at the viewfinder, I still prefer the yellow side, only because I think again, it's just gonna match my body better in the end. Let me slap on some brows quickly. Does that mean, do I like the Burberry foundation more than the Givenchy? Oh, tough question. I'm gonna say no in regards to the color match, because the Givenchy color match, which if you wanna check out thoroughly in my Givenchy video, I'll happy to link that up above and down below. 4.5N is God tier shade match for my complexion. There's enough neutral but golden, or it is a neutral shade, but it has a little bit of golden in there that just makes it impeccably perfect. The coverage though, I would say sits on a strong medium, where the Burberry Beyond something something is like teetering on medium high. Because look, this is a pretty flawless application, and I could have went in with more, but I am careful with how much I apply with matte foundations because it can look heavy. So you have to just rely on the formula and not slap on a ton and just kind of let that small serving do its thing. Okay, we have the foundation, we have the concealer, we have the lipstick. Now it's time to get into these shadows. And for this, I'm actually going to use a little bit of the concealer. I know this is not the best way to go, but I think the concealer actually, let me confirm, kind of performs like the foundation. Liquid concealer with innovative trench protect technology that uniquely combines 12-hour wear, active care, and weather protection. Is this like wearing an umbrella under my eyes, Burberry? Oh, you shouldn't have. Weather protection includes water, humidity, sweat, and heat resistance. Whoa! Formulated with coated pigments, this long-lasting concealer allows for a targeted, buildable full coverage of blemishes, imperfections, and under-eye dark circles. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I have with this concealer, for sure. Now we have a battle royale with the Gucci concealer. Now here is number 4, Midnight, fresh and untouched. We got one applicator, sponge tip on both sides. Let's take a look at these shades. Whoa, 24-hour suggested shelf life and made in Italy. Here's a first shade. Oh, that's pretty. Very soft. Fantastic for inner corner highlight. This is more of like a taupe shade, silvery in nature. Did I just swatch the same one? I sure freaking did. Here's a more silvery shade. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting silvery. Whoa, that's pretty. And we go straight into the dark brown and the black. Like, no chill. No chill from Zero Midnight. That feels soft. Ooh, is that a metallic or a matte? I have no freaking clue. There's no distinction here on the label. I kind of want to say that it's a satin. That's kind of what I want to think. Oh, hold on. We have shade descriptions on the product page. Let's go. Oh, never mind. It just describes the palette as a whole. Midnight, a smoky harmony of icy, silver glow, deep brown, and black eyeshadows. I'm trying to figure out if they outline the different formulas, if any. I feel like this is a satin. It has to be, because let's see what the black is doing. Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. Whoa, that's pretty smooth. Forget that first swatch. I'm an idiot. But here are the swatches for Midnight. That's not bad. I'm excited. Don't you just love rose petal? You see how it just settles on my lip? It's like my lip better, rosier, and shinier. Reminds me of the Kulfi lip oil 2 in Rose, but maybe not as more pink leaning. I am dying to see this satin taupe all over my eye. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look. I know you're like, Alicia, really? This is luxury makeup, family. It's a little more demure, low key, just enough. And I like that the satin has just enough shine to create that highlight effect on the lid. And now the silver, I'll place on the inner corner. That has a nice brightening effect. It's on the icier side, but you know, this is why I picked the palette, for the smoky vibes. And here, I want to toss the dark brown across my lash line first, and then carry it over the outer lid here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Make sure I wipe my brush, because now I'm changing to a dedicated blender to see what we get from this application. Oh, that's pretty. I'm such a sucker for these neutral shades. We've seen these before. They exist in my collection. But what I'm impressed by is the creaminess of the shadow, how smooth they are on the blend, soft, and I do detect the dark brown. I think it has maybe more of a charcoal effect when applied and blended on the lids. I mean, done. Classic, we're done. Goodbye. You know what I really want to see in action though? I'm gonna go in with the silver first with my finger. Yes, and now we gotta see the black. I'm tapping first. I remember when watching YouTube how the black smoky eye tutorial took the platform by storm, and the #1 tip shared by multiple beauty influencers across the board was you gotta start out with like a medium shade first on the crease, because I think that just made it a little easier to navigate the black, so it has somewhere to go. But now I'm just like, I don't want to do all that. What if I want the overall look to be like Xenon? I don't want any brown, caramel, tan, or taupe up in here, okay? I can blend this black just fine by itself. And man, that's a good black shadow. Maybe, sure, is Carbon from MAC blacker? Yeah, I haven't used that in a long time, but that ain't bad for a luxury black shadow. Look at my eyes right now. This is insane. All right, let's finish the blend here without additional product, finishing the edges. Stop it right now. Applying a little more of our silvery shade, reintroducing it to the mix. Yeah, halo style. And definitely we gotta go black here on the lower lash line, but of course. Oh, and I gotta show you guys my old Burberry compacts. My apologies, I got sidetracked and just excited over this eyeshadow palette. I completely forgot. Grabbing a smaller brush because I just want to nudge. This place is a mess. Get it together. I want to nudge the silver here, not only on the lower inner corner, but also on the actual inner corner. Whoa, it's getting crazy over here. This is wild. Back in first eye, I just want a little more. What is that? Picked up too much shadow. A little more of that taupe satin here. Okay. This is insane. What is happening? Here are the older Burberry compacts. Isn't this interesting? Compared to the new design, you have Burberry here in text on the edge of the compact. Now you have the logo, and you have the classic Burberry plaid pattern on the compact, mirrored effect. And here, I guess, is kind of like not as chromy, but with the gold detailing and the beige color that I think represents the trench beige. And here is Hydragea Pink number 10. I don't think I touched this blush. I think it's still new. Maybe we could put this on. Heck, why not? And the other compact I have is the Rose Gold number 4 Fresh Glow Highlighter. Wow. This was... Look at that. Still kicking. Ain't that pretty? Let's go in with this Hydragea shade. I mean, you know, this might be a little... I'm trying to think how should I place this? I'm thinking higher. Oh my goodness. Hydragea is a color. Holy moly. Because this is a matte foundation, it's gonna grab more color. I should have used maybe a softer brush. Whoa. It's giving 80s. Oh my heavens. This is a look. I'm gonna tap away some blush because, whoa. But I'm happy I placed it higher though, because lower would have been another type of a look that I don't think I would have approved of. And we can't finish without the highlighter. So let's tap on the highlight shade. Whoa, and the highlighter works. It's still working. Let me know, family, if you have older Burberry products down below, if you've recently purchased the newer makeup from the line. I just wanted to show you what the pink looked like, but I think I'm going to redo this. I think I need to go in with Givenchy's loose blush in 04 Organza Cien. Yes, I bought another one. Can't stay away from these suckers, man, but this is just a gorgeous combination of like brown, pink, you know, my favorite colors. So I tapped some in the cap, and yes, I love this. It's just I can't get enough. My gosh. Now I guess what Burberry has to do next is release blush, as they did with their older makeup line, right? But I'll still apply rose gold, however, lightly here on the cheekbones. I would apply my Prada mascara, but I'm saving it because I don't want it to run out. So let me slap on these lashes and I'll be right back. Man, oh man, I am drowning deeper and deeper into the clutches of luxury beauty, specifically now Burberry. And I quite enjoy the products that I sampled and also purchased. Quickly covering, sample the matte foundation in both 80 MC and 80 MW. You saw on the reapplication fast B-roll that I just applied this shade all over my face instead of the cooler one, and you see it works. If anything, if I purchase this foundation, it's gonna have to be that shade. We also applied the Brit Shine lipstick in Rose Petal, slapped on the concealer, and of course 04 Midnight. Listen, I know this is not razzly dazzly in your face, but you can't go wrong with these classic colors, and the texture over these shadows is just outrageous. Smooth, creamy. They just slide on the lids and they don't accentuate texture. They're effortless, and I think that's the appeal behind luxury beauty. If you want your sparkly, pizzazzy, out of this world effects, definitely grab the indie shadows. But I've just generally been gravitating towards simpler shades, simpler textures and finishes. You can't go wrong with a solid satin, and to have these colors available to me in one quad, I think is easy. And I'm happy I went with Midnight because it's just a lot more versatile for my complexion. The other quads in here in the lineup for Burberry are just so light toned that they're not going to have as much as an impact that I would like for $65. With 04 Midnight, I just have a wider spectrum of looks that I could create. I could go way softer with the dark brown and just use it as a lash liner, or I could go ultra smoky as you see here with the second look, right? So I thought that was bigger bang for my buck with 04. And if you're my complexion and were wondering which ones to get, the only other one I would consider getting, which it won't be great because the only shade that I think I would get any use of, meaningful use out of, is the plum metallic. I'll just slap it all over the lid, but the others I think are just too light to make a difference on my lid, so that's why I skipped it. But 04 is fantastic, and the concealer is just outrageous. My gosh, I think it might be better than the Gucci, and the Gucci is good. This is like splitting hairs, but if I were to pick, like I had to pick now, it has to be the Burberry. I'm still gonna use my Gucci, okay? I recently just purchased that gosh darn concealer, and perhaps that will provide more insight for me to share. I'll continue using the Beyond Matte Foundation from Burberry as well, which fitting for the season as it will become more humid. That northeast humidity, I hate it, and we'll see how that performs. Also, we'll use it with alongside Givenchy's, the new Givenchy Glow Serum. Still got my Prada on standby. So we have a lot of cocktailing and comparing to do. My Suku foundation that I have a new jar of course, the organza cyan shade is stupid. It's like the most perfect throw on blush. I have makeup on, obviously, got the whole gamut on, but when I applied this over the weekend just as is and wore it as a blush, the blush color itself is so beautiful that I slapped this on without makeup, without a tint or a foundation, and the color itself just blurred my blemishes in a way that just shifted attention away from them and focused in on the color itself. Magic, I tell you. But stay tuned, because I also purchased a few of the Prada liners. Oh my goodness. And we'll compare some bronzers, because new additions to that part of my collection as well. But if you made it this far, make sure you like this video, click that thumbs up. It does help my channel tremendously. Tell the algorithm I'm worth watching. Consider subscribing, because we got a lot of video ideas on deck, and for you to know when those drop, you got to hit that notification bell as well. Make sure you check out my Givenchy video if you want to see it glow serum swatches, as well as Prada Scope, the mascara, close-ups and whatnot. I'll see you in those videos down below in the comments for this one, and on here again next time.